Week 3 rolling along. Rube, how you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Also, this is Eagle Eye Podcast brought to you by Nissan, Reuben Frank, and Dave Zangaro. Eagles-Rams on Sunday, a 1 o'clock Sunday game. Not a ton of them on the schedule, but I like those.
Like those 1 o'clock games, you can actually get out of the stadium while it's still light out. It's different. I'm looking forward to this game. I think it's a fun game. They're a good team.
It
good
should
rivalry.
be a fun matchup. Yeah, you're right. You played this team twice last year, won both of those times, gave them the toughest test in the playoffs. The season nearly ended with the Rams, so it'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a great atmosphere in there.
Yeah, we'll break down some of the game a little bit later. I wanted to start off with the injury report this week, and later on we have a bunch of fun questions and some fun field goal rule proposals from our listeners that I want to get to. So those will be a lot of fun. But on the injury report, Dallas Goedert back at practice this week. Not definite that he'll play, but definitely a possibility. At least he's getting closer.
Definitely a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he kind of wanted to play last week. Eagles are pretty conservative on that stuff.
Yeah.
No, he didn't practice, but he did say he was pushing to play. But they could sure use him both as a receiver and as a blocker.
Definitely as a blocker. I mean, think about that first play of the game against the Chiefs. Grant Calcaterra can't hold up in pass pro. If that's Goddard out there, they might hit that deep shot, and it might change the discourse of this entire week.
Exactly right. They had the right play call. They had the right quarterback, the right receiver. They just couldn't give him time.
Yeah, and it's like, Goddard probably does hold up in that situation.
Grant Calcaterra, I looked this up on Pro Football Focus, which you always preface it by grain of salt, but he's ranked 99th in blocking among 100 tight ends who played however many snaps it is. I think it's 25.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not his strength.
Yeah, and that matches the eye test. Where I think you get into weird spots with PFF is like, wait, they have this player ranked way up there, and like the rankings sometimes.
The rankings are weird because you'd have a guy who plays one snap be ranked over like a Hall of Famer. That's always weird to me.
Well, you can sort out the snaps part of it.
Well, I don't know how you determine from one snap that a guy had this incredible game.
Oh, well, yeah, they grade that snap.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, there's a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah. That's kind of all I have on the injury report. There's not a ton going on with this team right now. Landon Dickerson was a full participant.
Still worried about him a little bit.
Yeah, I think you worried about him all the time because he always seems to be a little bit banged up. The only guy who did not practice to start the week was Will Shipley with that. They call it an oblique, probably a rib in there too. He did not practice. It seems like he's going to miss at least this week. And that'll be 2 weeks missed for him, which isn't great. But if that's the biggest injury concern, you're in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, and I would think if they anticipate more than 2 weeks, they probably would have put him on IR. We'll see. I would think you have a pretty good chance of getting him next week. We'll see what happens. Tanner McKee, limited right thumb. He was passing the football a little bit more, which is a good sign going the right way. I think there's a chance he could be the backup this week. Yeah, which would be not a huge thing. It probably won't matter, but you want to see him out there healthy.
Yeah. And then Jalen Carter limited with the shoulder. I don't know if that's what he was grabbing. He wasn't grabbing at his shoulder during the game. He was grabbing at it. It looked like his right forearm. He called it like a little stinger, and he didn't mean like a neck stinger. He just didn't know how to describe the pain in his arm. But yeah, that's something to watch because we talked about his conditioning on the last podcast, but the injury isn't helping matters.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to see it become like a lingering thing with him.
Especially with how much he plays.
Yeah.
They need him out there. They need him healthy. They need him in shape as much as possible.
At least he did play.
Yeah, you're right. We're taking baby steps with Jalen Carter. He was on the field and actually played a snap this week.
Yeah, that was good. Good progress from him.
Like I mentioned, the discourse this week, a lot of it, well, there's been two things. One is the tush push, which I think we've exhausted enough. Jordan Mailata had some strong comments about it on Wednesday. If you want to go check those out, they're on our social media channels. And they were strong. They were good. He said he doesn't give a bleep about what Adam Schefter thinks, which is, I think, wise in this particular situation. But we've talked about the tush push enough. I don't want to keep going there. The passing offense is something that's not going away until they prove that they can do it. Jalen Hurts put a lot of it on himself.
He did. He came in there, and I think that's what he wanted to say. He came into his presser on Wednesday evening. Sometimes like he'll have something he wants to say, and whatever the first question is, somebody could ask him about Tyler Steen, and he'll take that question and answer it with what he wants to say. And then he'll just kind of keep reshaping that and saying it in different ways the rest of the press conference, no matter what the questions are. And he used the word synchronicity. He just talked about being on the same page and all that stuff. But he did say he has to be better. He said there were plays there to be made, and we just didn't make them. He said we have a high standard on this offense, and we're not living up to it. It was just good to hear him take some accountability. I don't think most of the blame for what's happening is on him. I think some is, but I think it's important that he has a hand in it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's funny when we talk about the blame game here, because I don't think in this week a lot of it is on him. But when you look at it holistically, I think the offense operates in a way that Jalen Hurts wants it. The offense looks the way Jalen Hurts wants it to look.
Yeah,
I think the offense has been created around him. So on a larger scale, maybe he's more at fault for it. But I also think that's probably unfair to put all of it on him. I think it's him and the head coach, because so much of it goes to Kevin Patullo. But when the same issues have been here in years previous, it really seems really unfair to pin it all on the offensive coordinator, but he deserves some of it too.
Yeah, and some of these things we saw at times under Brian Johnson, some of these things we saw at times under Kellen. So I think that's fair. And what you're saying is this offense has been crafted to be a low risk, take your shots when it makes sense, but just kind of close to the vest, punt it, rather punt it than risk an interception or a turnover.
We never talked about the coward straws on 3rd and long. What did you make of that in the Chiefs game?
Well, I guess it made sense at the time. I don't like it, but I'm not going to get too upset about them. I mean, I think you take everything into account, like the situation, the opponent, how much firepower they have, which that team doesn't really have a lot anymore. How your defense is playing, and I mean, it's kind of not a fun way to play football. Just kind of close to the vest, play defense, punt it, but they never turn the ball over, and when they don't turn the ball over, they never lose. So, I think they're at an extreme right now of not taking risks.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with an interception once a month. There's nothing wrong with, if you're trying to make a play down the field, I'd rather.
They would probably argue, though, an interception in that game could have cost it.
Exactly. And that's why I think it made sense in that game to be ultra conservative, and probably the Dallas game. But I think there'll be games where they're going to have to kind of open things up and take some risks because they're going to need to.
It's got to be tough for Jalen, if I'm putting myself in his shoes, because to me, it seems very clear there's an edict to not turn the football over. And at a certain point, that has to become ingrained in you as a player to not take chances. But as a competitor, there's probably windows where he's I can get that ball in there, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And after a while, you would think that just becomes more second nature to not, not pull the trigger on some of those passes.
And I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, gosh, he had 2 picks in Brazil, right? On opening day against the Packers. What do you have? 2 more the rest of the year? So he had 1 in the postseason. So he got 3
in the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's got 3 in his last. How many games did he play last year? 15. So 14 plus 4, 18, 20. So he's got 3 interceptions in his last 20 games over something like 400 pass attempts. And for this team, it works. It's just, I think you end up in a lot of close games that, you need to be able to run out the clock and make a few big plays just to get enough points to play like that. I just don't know how sustainable it is.
Yeah, and right now we're not seeing like the huge chunks on offense, even in the run game, which was pretty consistent last year.
Yeah.
They were getting big chunks. It hasn't happened yet through 2 games, which is obviously a really small sample size. But when you're getting those big chunks on the ground, I think it makes this style of offense more palatable. But when you're not, it just looks like you're stuck in the mud a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Rams are a team that Saquon obviously had great success against last year. Both games, good success first game, great success the second game. So, and that's kind of a big thing is like, getting him going again. I don't know. I don't think it's him. I think he's the same player. I don't know how differently teams are defending the run. The Chiefs just have a good front period. I don't think he's had a lot of big giant holes to run through. I think he ran really hard in that game Sunday. I thought it was one of his better games just because he got the most out of every yard that was there for him. I thought he ran really tough. But yeah, at some point you'd like to see those big runs.
Kevin Patullo brought up that he thinks they were close to hitting a couple of big ones. I went back and watched, and there were a few where you can see it, like, if one block holds a second longer, or if Saquon bounces one this way, he has a chance. And I still think those are going to be there. They're not going to happen at the rate they did last year. That was otherworldly, but he's going to break one at some point, and it could happen in this game.
Yeah, they're going to need it. I mean, they need something to kind of kickstart this offense.
Do you want to get into the matchups for this game?
Yeah.
Well, let's start with Saquon because, like you mentioned, last year he was unbelievable against the Rams. In those 2 games, 52 rushing attempts for 460 yards and 4 touchdowns. Just incredible. Like 70-yarder, 72-yarder, 78-yarder against the Rams last year.
Mind-blowing.
And that one in the snow in the divisional round game is one of the iconic moments of that Super Bowl season.
I think so. Yeah. And my pal Eric Hartline took that picture of him running toward the end zone. I guess he was in the end zone, and it's hanging in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, won a bunch of awards. And it's also hanging in Saquon's house, which is really cool.
He loves that play.
Yeah.
And it got the full NFL Films treatment, which I know he loved. It was awesome. It was, and then, it was a good lesson too, that sometimes the game's not over when you think it's over, because that game was not over. When he scored that touchdown, everyone thought, blouses, this is done. Yeah. And it wasn't.
Yeah. Things got really ugly really fast.
Mm-hmm. But he was so good against them last year. The numbers bear that out. And he did a lot of it running against a loaded box. Like, people think that the Rams weren't selling out to stop him. No, they were loading the box. And it's something we don't talk about a lot, that, there's a downside sometimes to loading the box, because if you get past those first 2 waves, no one there.
Yeah.
And it kind of it almost lends itself to breaking those big runs at times.
If you can get past the first level, you have a chance to make a really big play.
Yeah. What do you expect from him in this game? Does he have another big performance against the Rams?
I think he will. I think he'll have his first 100-yard game. I'm not sure it's going to be one of those 170s or 180s.
Or 200.
Or 275 or whatever. But I think he'll be really good. And if he's not, I think there's cause for concern. But I think he will.
I don't know if there'll be cause for concern.
If he's bottled up against this defense, it's an okay defense, not a great defense.
Right now, through 2 games, small sample size and all that, they're like a middle of the pack run defense.
Yeah. I just don't like that 3-8 sitting next to his name. And again, I don't think it's him at all. Mm-hmm. They faced a couple pretty good fronts.
I would be shocked if it's sitting at 3-8 after this game.
You think it'll start with 3 or 4? You think it'll start with 4?
It'll start with 4.
Okay. I think that's likely. I think it would be important if it does.
Mm-hmm. The Rams do have a good front, and that's something to watch in this game. They don't have like that one superstar. There's no Myles Garrett on this line, but top to bottom, they are excellent, and they're young too, which is a fun part of this matchup.
And they've drafted really well. Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner. They have the other Byron Young.
That's 3 sacks already.
Yeah, Jared Verse. They're young. They've drafted some really good players.
Jared Verse is a really fun player. We saw that matchup, him and Jordan Mailata last year. He got Jordan Mailata on his keister, which you don't see very often. Really like powerful edge rusher. He's a fun player.
Yeah, and he was doing a lap around the stadium before the game, just razzing fans. It was fun.
That was fun. And then there was like Jalen Carter kind of walked up to him, and he quickly walked away, which I would too. Especially knowing now what we know.
Right, Freddie was going to spit on him.
Yeah, he's in the splash zone in the end zone. But I like having a little rivalry with the team that's not in the division. And I think Jared Verse brings that. He kind of went like WWE heel on Eagles fans. And then after the season was over, he kind of gave some props and said like it's a fun place to play and all that. But yeah, he backed it up.
He did.
He played well.
It's funny, these teams like, I mean, the Giants aren't any good. The Cowboys aren't any good. I guess Washington's going to be pretty good. They played them in the NFC Championship game, but it seems like their biggest rivals are like the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Rams, the teams they played in the postseason. I guess Washington's probably supplanted Dallas and the Giants as far as the biggest division rival. It doesn't feel that way.
No, it's still Dallas.
But they're the only one.
It's just always got to be Dallas.
But they're the only one that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's going to be they're late in the season.
So late in the season. Who knows by then?
Yeah, somebody might have clinched something by then. But yeah, this is a fun rivalry, and I think it's be a great atmosphere.
You know who's playing well for the Rams? Josiah Stewart.
Oh, yeah?
Remember our draft talks? And he was my favorite player of this draft.
Is he playing well?
He's playing very well. Undersized edge rusher. Reminds me of Nolan Smith a lot because he's just like stick his nose in there and plays tough. He's playing really well for them.
Some talent. They have some talent up front.
Yeah, and it kind of comes in waves. So, normally when we look at the O-line, D-line matchup, it's like, okay, worry about this guy on this guy. But it's like really across the line, they have good talent.
Yep.
Okay. Now, we've said this before.
Yes.
But the Eagles receivers have a decided advantage over the Rams cornerbacks. Now, whether or not the Eagles take advantage of it, we'll find out. But like they're better and they have a chance to if they want.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see some plays made in the passing game. We said this in the last pod. I mean, they've had one completed pass between 10 and 25 yards, which I just can't get over that. They had the 50-yarder and on opening day and the 28-yarder to Devontae, but they got to get something going in the passing game. And yeah, and I think this is a good team to do it against.
Yeah, Kill Witherspoon is on IR. He's one of their starters, so he's out of this game. They have Emmanuel Forbes, they have Kobe Durant, and they have Darius Williams now, the veteran stepping in. You remember Emmanuel Forbes? We thought A.J. Brown ended his career as a rookie a few years ago when he was with Washington. That was like the most embarrassing game for a cornerback ever. I'm trying to find it was 6 catches, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns with Brown on Emmanuel Forbes in that game.
Yeah, they need a game like that from AJ. I mean, it doesn't have to be like that, but man, he's too good to be going through what he's going through. Yeah,
and he's faced Williams before, had success in that Week 12 game. He had 4 catches for 86 yards against him, and now Williams is kind of like back in the starting lineup. Quentin Lake is their safety who plays nickel for them as well, so that he's a decent player, and he'll be matching up against either Jahan Dotson or when Devontae's in the slot. But on the outside, I really like those matchups, and it doesn't have to be a slant to AJ. He can win over the top.
Yeah, so I mean, if they're super conservative against this secondary, against these corners, then there's a real problem somewhere. I don't think that'll happen, but like until I see them I mean, when you have a matchup like this, you've really got to exploit it. And I want to see that happen. Yeah.
And look, it obviously is going to start with the run game. If they're running the ball effectively against a team where they had success with that last year, then fine. But I think in situations, they're going to have opportunities to throw the ball. And you want to see them hit. I don't think it's going to be like bombs away the whole game. But when they have the shots, you have to take them because I think, man, you have such an advantage with AJ and Devontae in this game.
Couldn't agree more.
All right. On the other side, it's kind of fun because you have two of the best wide receiver duos in the NFL. You have AJ and Devontae on the Eagles side. And then with the Rams, it used to be Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Now it's Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, who's still really good.
Still really good. Had another 1,000-yard season last year. You don't really see a lot. I guess Mike Evans is another guy who's kind of playing at a high level at that age. But yeah, he's still really good. And Puka Nacua is just a tough, big, physical, yards after the catch, catches everything. I think he's probably a top 5 receiver in the NFL now. Mm-hmm. So, and they got a quarterback who can get them both the ball. Yeah, it's a little scary. Stafford can't move at all. He doesn't try. He's just had back surgery. Not just, but that kind of takes away one way they can attack. I mean, we saw Mahomes in the first half make some plays with his legs, but gets rid of the ball really quick. Really,
all of the Chiefs' success until the very end of the game on offense was Mahomes just scrambling.
Yeah.
And then they were able to clean that up. You're right, with Stafford, like he's not moving. The only thing that moves on him is his arm angle as he throws the football. And we saw that in the divisional round. When he gets hot and he he was just, and I think it was at the point where he was like, well, I have to now. Like, we just got to let it rip. Yeah. And he was throwing some balls in like incredible tight windows. And he was just like, it was unreal watching him at the end of that game.
He's one of those guys when he gets into the zone or into a rhythm, whatever you want to call it, like it's really hard to stop him. He's so accurate, gets rid of the ball quick. He's been doing it for a long, long time with the Lions and now with the Rams. And I think I mentioned this in the last pod. In his career, he's got 16 touchdowns and 1 interception against the Eagles. And I actually correctly guessed who had the 1 interception. It was Nnamdi in 2012. Wow. So Eagles haven't picked him off in 13 years.
It feels like that was a different era.
It was.
It was, yeah, I guess it was.
Nnamdi. I mean, it seems like 50 years ago.
It does. It's amazing that he even played against Nnamdi.
Yeah. Yeah, was that his rookie year? What year did Stafford come out? I should know this. I have so many kicking browsers on I got all these Jake Elliott. He came out in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
First pick in 2009. So, yeah, that 2012 season, he threw 727 passes. That's insane. It's got to be one of the highest totals ever. He'll put it up for grabs a little bit. He'll throw interceptions because he's just firing away all the time. Mm-hmm. So,
you talked to Adoree Jackson,
yeah,
this week. What did he have to say? Because we know Quignon's going to be fine. And by the way, rewatching that deep touchdown, Quignon even being in the frame was unbelievable. Like his recovery speed when he just realized something was wrong and there was a busted coverage, for him to even make that a play was pretty wild.
Yeah, it was. I think I have a prediction. He's going to get his first regular season pick this week.
Okay,
that's my prediction. But yeah, Adoree,
he should have one already.
He should have about 6. I think he dropped about 4 or 5 last year, and I think 1 this year, right?
Yeah.
Adoree's got, obviously he played better against the Chiefs. They don't have the weapons the Cowboys have, and he was like, I don't want anyone congratulating me or anything. I know I got to be better. I might have played better Sunday, but I have a long way to go. And he's very accountable. Said he never wants to hear praise from anybody. Don't even tell me I played well, because there was a mistake. I made a mistake somewhere. So, yeah. I like his attitude. I don't think he's the answer. His confidence is good. He says he's getting used to playing here. What else did he say? Did you read the story?
I did.
Tell me what he said. He talked about his dad and how his dad always had a high standard for him.
Yeah, well, you asked him about Vic's comments, which seemed pretty pointed, that maybe that performance will kickstart him into being a good corner for us, which is the faintest praise of all time. But he didn't seem to mind it, which you would wonder how a veteran would. I mean, this is not the first time Vic has said something about Adoree that wasn't super flattering.
Yeah.
Like in training camp when he said, basically I'm paraphrasing, but like, I don't know how he wanted the guy, he brought him in.
I didn't watch any film of him.
Yeah. So he hasn't been super complimentary of Adoree this whole time. And you wonder how that rubs the veteran.
Yeah. He said he doesn't mind. He said any criticism is something I welcome. He said, it's going to help me. It's going to help make me a better player. So he didn't know about it. He didn't know Vic had said that. So I had to go read him the quote, and he kind of chuckled, and he said, "Yeah, I mean, I embrace all criticism. It's going to make me a better player." And
how did he not hear that?
I don't know. I get the feeling he doesn't really follow stuff in the media.
Okay.
He has been following the World Track Championships, though. Big track guy, All-America, USC. Do you know one of his teammates at USC on the track team was Randall Cunningham Jr., Randall's son, who's a 7'6" high jumper. He's an All-American high jumper.
He's that tall? 7'6"?
Yes, Minute Cunningham. But yeah, it was good chat. He said that the one thing that makes him happy is when his teammates say good job. He's if one of those guys, because I'm out there, I'm just playing for them. He said when they pump me up, that means something. But from anyone else, he's like, I don't want to hear it. Interesting guy.
Concern level with him in this game.
It's high. It has to be because
scale of 1 to 10.
I'll go between 7 and 8. I'll go 8.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah,
8 was the number that popped out to me.
Yeah, it's high because they don't just have really, really good receivers. They actually have 3 pretty good receivers, but they have a quarterback who's, I guess he's not a Hall of Famer. Is he more of a compiler?
He might put up the numbers to get in.
Gosh, he's thrown for 60,000 yards.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How many games would Jalen have to play to get to 60,000?
At this rate?
60,000.
Yeah.
189 interceptions. Wonder where that ranks all time. Let's figure that out. I'll bet he's in the top 5 in all-time interceptions.
I would think so. I mean, that's a lot of interceptions.
Yeah. My wireless is pretty slow today. This might take a while.
Want me to look it up for you? I have it here.
I'm on it.
Okay.
As soon as the player career finder. Oh,
okay. I have it. He's tied for 35th all time.
Really?
Yeah.
I did interceptions defensively by mistake.
189.
Who has the most?
Most is Brett Favre.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
336.
Really?
Yeah.
Half of them against the Eagles.
Yeah. So he's actually not up there. I mean, and there are some, like, a lot of Hall of Famers ahead of him.
Yeah. I mean, interceptions have gone down.
Yeah. Dan Marino, Peyton Manning.
Guys used to routinely throw 25, 30 interceptions.
Yeah.
John Hadel. He didn't play enough to have 268 interceptions?
He did.
Yeah. Well, he did. Who's got the most? I guess Donovan's got the most in Eagles history. Let's see. Oh, Jaws threw 151.
Yeah, with the Eagles, he threw 164 overall.
Yeah, with the Eagles. Mm-hmm. Donovan only threw 100, so he's 4th. Randall threw 105. Norm Snead threw 124. Because those guys, I mean, Norm Snead only played a few years. He still threw 124. He had more interceptions than touchdowns. Anyway, Dave, you always get us off track.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I got to do better. Can I get us back on track?
Guess who has more career interceptions, Carson or Jalen?
I would guess Carson, but the way you asked that makes me think it's Jalen.
Carson threw 15 his last year here in 12 games. Yeah, it's Carson.
Okay.
67 to 39.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like Carson was the obvious answer. That's why I was surprised the way you asked that.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I was trying to throw you off.
Okay.
All right. Let's get back to your matchups.
Okay. Thank you. Eagles defensive tackles in this game. I think the Rams are susceptible on the interior of their offensive line. Steve Avila, probably, I don't know, he might play this week. He has an ankle injury, missed week 2, but either way, he might be hobbled. I think there's a good chance this is a good matchup for the Eagles, especially because like they've been playing well inside. Jalen Carter needs to get his conditioning better, but he was still a good player in week 2. Jordan Davis has been fantastic through 2 weeks. Moro Ojima has been playing really well. Like they're a good team right now inside.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And
even Byron Young's giving them good snaps.
He is. This is the Byron Young Bowl.
If you don't think I'm going to talk to Byron Young about that, you are mistaken.
I know that's coming. I think if they can get out a long drive, I think that's where Jalen Carter, like that last drive the Chiefs had when he was dragging at the end of the first half was like a 10-play, 6-minute drive.
Yeah.
And I guess it's Clint Hurt who's kind of doing the rotations there. I'm sure he'll be more aware of.
Yeah, it's tough because like you want him out there at the end of a drive. You're trying to get off the field, but if there were a few plays where he's gassed. He's not giving you anything.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's funny though. Even when he's not giving you anything, they don't know that, so they're still doubling him. So I guess he's giving you something in that respect.
Yeah, I mean, if they see that he's not moving real well, I guess they would change up. But maybe, it'd be interesting to see how they handle it because I don't know how much better shape you can get in a week. That was really warm out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be really warm Sunday. So I'm sure that was. You were out there, so
it was hot.
It was muggy, right? Muggy.
It was muggy. Now they did get more cloud cover than expected, so that helped a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. You'd hope by week 6 or so that there's a significant difference.
And I think there will be. The way they ramped him up last year is different than just like throwing him in the deep end like they did this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
My last one is just Vic Fangio against Sean McVay.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's obviously not a player matchup, but McVay's offense is really good. But Fangio, more than any other coordinator in the league, has seemed to handle it really well.
Yeah, he handles most offenses really well. But
but this is one that gives a lot of people trouble.
No, you're right. I think McVay is really good. He's kind of like Nick in a lot of ways. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1. He's been in the playoffs almost every year. I think he's only had 1 loser.
Their offenses are very different.
But I just mean their resume.
Yeah.
Both offensive coaches, you wouldn't be able to tell. But McVay's really good. They do a lot of eye candy. They're just kind of try to have people running around and doing all kinds of stuff before the snap. And that's stuff like the Eagles have been so disciplined. Like their eye discipline is excellent.
Yeah, when it comes to guys in the middle of the field, whether it's Zach Bond or Cooper DeJean. Curious to see how Jahad Campbell handles this game. You wonder if they can take advantage of maybe an overzealous rookie who overruns something. But with Bond and Cooper DeJean, who had, by the way, watching back, Cooper DeJean was incredible against Kansas City. He's just so good in the open field and shedding blocks out there and making plays. But when you have those guys in the middle of the field, I think it really negates a lot of what that eye candy brings to an offense. Yeah, it's unlike anything Jahad Campbell's ever seen before, but I think he'll be fine. There might be a play or two that it kind of sends him going in the wrong direction, but I think he'll be fine. Yeah. Didn't really have a spot for this, but I just wanted to plug my story on Nakobe Dean. I thought it was really fun. I talked to Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, and Jeremiah Trotter about Nakobe and how much he's helping them behind the scenes, which you kind of suspected because it's Nakobe and because of all of his experience. But they were like, yeah, I mean, he's helping us every single day. He's on the sideline during games. He was even in Kansas City. He traveled with the team. So he's been a really big help for them. Yeah. Kind of forgotten man around here. We haven't forgotten how good he was last year. So good last year. And I don't know what it's going to be when he comes back because those guys ahead of him, like those guys on the field right now, are playing so well. Yeah. But I don't know. I think he's too good to just completely leave off the field. Yeah. And we might be still a few weeks. Although the fact that he was on the field, like Nick never likes a guy with any kind of lower, like leg, ankle, knee injury
on the sideline.
I mean, it's not even really like an injury anymore. It's just rehabbing that part of the body at this point.
That's what I'm saying is that there's obviously no concern about the injury itself because he's out there. Because if a guy's sat, just unable to get out of the way, then there's a concern. But if a play comes over to where he's standing, but man, he was so good last year. He was a Pro Bowl level linebacker last year. He really was such a playmaker. Brought so much juice and energy to the defense. Smart, never in the wrong place. So we'll see where he fits in.
Zach Bond was funny talking about him. He's like, obviously he's the captain now. He's the all-pro, but he's like, Nakobe's been doing this a lot longer than me. Like, I still need to lean on him for a lot of, he's like, I'm in the meeting room and something comes up and I immediately just like look to him and see what he thinks about the situation.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what happens with his future, but right now just got to get him on the field. And you have any sense of how far away he is? A few weeks. I mean, he's eligible
week 5
after next
Denver.
week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Probably at least open his window. And because once you open the window, it's the same for PUP as it is for IR, right? So you have 3 weeks to make a decision after that.
Yeah, that would seem to make sense.
Yeah.
That'd be great to see him back out there.
Yeah, it might be limited, but I think they'll find a way to use him on defense, at least occasionally.
And if nothing else, he's always been a really good special teamer.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember talking to him after the Super Bowl season, the first one, well, the third one, but the
2022.
23 Super Bowl. Man, you have to really differentiate.
Call that 22.
23 Super Bowls played in 23 is 22 season. Yeah. Anyway, what was my point? I just asked him how we were just BSing. I was, how tough was it to not really play? And he's like, I play on special teams. I was part of a Super Bowl team. That meant the world to me just to contribute. So he's got a great attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Want to take a break?
Yeah.
Let's take a break. When we come back, a bunch of questions and some fun ones in the mix.
You deserve a car that thrills you, a car that puts goosebumps on your goosebumps. At Nissan, we've got everything from turbocharged SUVs to 100% electric vehicles that'll make your heart beat faster. Experience the thrill for yourself and shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
All right, we're back on the Eagle Eye Podcast brought to you by Nissan, Reuben Frank, and Dave Zangaro. I have a bunch of questions in front of me, and let's just hop into them. First one is from Jen. Hi, Dave and Rube. We have to have a serious discussion.
Oh.
Are we going to lose A.J. Brown if the passing game does not open up? I know we're all about winning and efficiency, but how long can we go on like this and keep a receiver of A.J.'s caliber? During the postgame, his energy seems so low. I know it was only game 2, but I don't have a warm and fuzzy feeling about this. What do you think?
Well, he's not going anywhere. I mean, but lose him could mean a couple different things. And it's a concern. Like if you're a star wide receiver and you're not getting the ball at all, and this continues, and he's getting 10 to 30 yards a game, 41. It's not good. I think he's a real team guy and everything, but we've also seen the other side of him, and he was getting a lot more targets then than he is now. So it's, I don't think it's an immediate concern, but if this keeps up, it becomes one.
Yeah, you think back to the comment last year, and sometimes look, AJ doesn't do himself any favors because sometimes he can't hide the emotion. You think back to the passing comment, and that was in December last year. Winning smooths a lot of this over. When the team is winning and you don't get the targets, it's like, okay, at least we won the game. No, if there are games where they don't win and he doesn't get the target share, then I think that becomes an issue, because I think that's in anyone where you're a good player and you think, man, I can help us win, and you're not letting me do that. I think that's where the issue would really come to a head. For now, it's something to monitor, but I don't think it's more than that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. But
it's fair to question though. It's not even talking about he's not T.O., he's not a diva, but it's human nature, especially when you play that position, to want the football. Especially when you're as good as he is.
When you're that good, that's when you're that good and you're not getting it, I mean,
he's one of the 5 best receivers in the world.
There's a guy in Germany. No, yeah, it's got to be tough. I think he's handled it well so far, but
and he ain't 5, by the way. He's good.
He ain't 5.
Yeah, he ain't 5.
Number 1's got Carson Wentz thrown to him this week. I think after that, how would you rank the top 5?
How would I rank?
Would you go Jefferson
5?
first, Jamar Chase 2nd?
I might go Jamar first.
Okay, that's fair.
Both of those guys are going to have backups thrown to them, though.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'll take Jamar Chase.
I'd probably go
good.
Chase, Jefferson, then AJ,
then CD maybe,
then CD. Yeah.
Puka Nacua might be 5.
You can make that case.
Yeah.
But like if you want to have CD above AJ, he has the numbers. I get it. I think AJ's a better player.
Yeah.
Doesn't get to show it all the time.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. Like before the season, AJ talked about wanting to put a stamp on him being the best receiver in the NFL. And even though everyone knows how good he is, you can't do that without the numbers, without the targets, without the catches. It's got to be like weighing on him a little bit.
I would think. And I think, like she said, like his demeanor after the game, and you don't want to put too much into that, but he was down. I mean, there were some very short answers, and he had that look on his face like, there's nothing I can do. It's like, I think this would be a big week. Should be a big week for him.
Next one, kind of in the same vein from Brandon. Pretend you're a Hall of Fame voter. If A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith played their entire careers with the Eagles and each put up 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns per 17 games for the next 5 to 7 years, would they get in the Hall? If not, how many Super Bowls would they have to win with the exact same numbers in order to become Hall of Famers? Obviously, I'm asking because we all respect guys for running the ball and being team first, but I don't think it's a bad thing for someone to think they're a Hall of Fame talent. How much are we really asking AJ and to a lesser extent Devontae to sacrifice in order to win?
So the question is 5,000-yard seasons?
Yeah, don't worry about the numbers too much. It's basically like they put up good numbers, not great numbers.
Well,
how much does winning then counteract the numbers when you're talking about a guy's Hall of Fame chances?
For that position, I don't think that much. I mean, you need those huge seasons. 1,500-1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns and 100 catches.
AJ does have 2 1,400
He
yards.
does, he has 2, but you need more than that. I mean, I think he's on track. I think if he has another 5 years like he had last year or 2 years ago, yeah, you can certainly make a Hall of Fame case. But I think the Super Bowls help more for quarterbacks more than anything. They don't hurt for receivers, but so much of that is numbers.
If it ends up being that, and Devontae's really far away from this, not like he's a really good player, but he's in a different class right now than AJ when we're talking about potential Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
But if AJ is like the best receiver on a team that ends up potentially becoming a dynasty, which I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but we're playing the hypothetical game anyway. He's the best receiver on a team that ends up becoming a dynasty. That's a run first team. Will that enter the equation?
I don't think a whole lot. I was just looking here, like Henry Ellard had almost 14,000 yards. How many? He had 3 seasons at 1,380 yards or more, 7,000 yard seasons, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. I mean, you got to.
There's a little bit of a logjam at the position.
Reggie Wayne's not in, is he? Reggie Wayne to me is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well, there's guys who need to go in, and they will, but
Reggie Wayne had 8,000 yard seasons. 6 of them, he was over 1,300 yards. To me, he should be in 7 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, and he will. But it's just
Anyway,
Andre Johnson went in last year, and it's you slowly start to do it, but it takes a while, especially when there's that many players who are ready to go in.
Yeah, and meanwhile, there's more and more guys who are going to put up these numbers because of the nature of the game these days, everywhere except here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Next one is from Ian. Hey guys, love the pod as always. I have 2 questions. Hope you can indulge me. One is a football question. We'll start with that one. The Eagles seem to have KC's number at this point. Do you think it's because they're an ascending great football team and the Chiefs are in decline, or do the Birds have a psychological advantage on them after embarrassing them in Super Bowl 59? That Makuba interception is a signature Mahomes touchdown 99 out of 100 times against any team, but against the Eagles, it's a back-breaking error.
Well, I think it was his error, but I just don't think they're that good anymore. I think they've gotten old. I don't think they've really replenished the roster, especially on offense, skill guys. They've had some injuries. Mahomes he's not what he used to be. I think he still at times can be really, really good.
He also doesn't have the players around him that he used to have.
He certainly doesn't. But I also, I just think how old is Mahomes now?
30. He just turned 30.
Just turned 30.
Happy birthday, Patrick.
So, I mean, he's certainly not washed up or anything, but he's just not. I don't think he's taking a lot of hits the way he plays the game.
I do wonder about the psychological part of it, because you think about last year, the Chiefs were winning all these games that they really had no business in winning, but I think they won them in part because of the mentality. Like, we'll figure out a way to get this done. I wonder if they're going to start to lose that after losing a couple games to start this season. I wonder if you just lose the belief that 15 will figure it out.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with them, because I don't think they might not even be a playoff team. There's some really good teams in the AFC.
I still think they're going to be
Start
a playoff
looking at
team.
the Chargers and the Bills and the Ravens. And
I get it.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to be a playoff team.
I'll bet you pavilion lunch. They're not. What was our other pavilion lunch?
I think I won that. I don't remember what it was. We'll have to look that up.
All right.
Non-football question.
I doubt that you won it.
This is for Rube. I love the chemistry between the two of you, but the one thing that always makes me laugh is Dave saying some phrase /word /name that reminds Rube of a song title. He then names the band and spends 15 seconds trying to remember the keyboardist's name or something. Does he do this in real life around family and friends, or is this a glitch reserved for only the pod? Keep up the great work.
Yeah, I think you know the answer.
I know the answer.
What's the answer?
The answer is it happens all the time. I think you take it to new levels on the pod.
I don't know.
I think you lean into it a little bit.
I think we just talk more on the pod. So
that's probably true.
We tend to avoid each other when we're not doing a pod.
I think that's smart, though.
Yeah.
You got to save for content.
That's right.
You don't want to. But
that's what Tom Bigby used to say, the old PD at WIP, the legendary guy who kind of started the sports talk format. Is like, if you are like arguing about a sports point during a commercial, they save it for the show. Anyway, yes, I think I just did that kind of a form of that, but save it for the show.
Okay, so the bet was who has more snaps in this game, AJ Dillon or Tank Bigsby.
Oh, I might have won that.
No, you took Tank Bigsby.
Oh, at Bigsby?
Yeah.
Did he get on the field?
He didn't play on offense.
Okay, well, he was second.
Okay.
Those two plays back to back by Dillon, I thought were pretty big.
Yeah, they were nice. Next one is okay. Now we're getting into our field goal.
Oh, good.
Ideas here from Arthur. What if they put a bar across the top of the goalpost and made kickers not only kick between the left and right uprights, but also between the bottom and top?
So it'd be like a box.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Sometimes it's actually tough to tell when a field goal goes in when it goes above the uprights anyway.
Yeah, it is.
You have to it might actually the unintended consequence would be like a 33-yard field goal. You end up booting over the top.
Yeah, it might be tough making those shorter ones. Mm-hmm. I don't know why don't they just put like some sort of GPS thing, like digitally you could see it, like you have a screen in the press box with an official and you can see exactly.
Yeah.
They don't do that stuff.
Are you out on the top cross?
I like the idea. It'll never happen.
Okay. From Kirk.
I like it though. It's creative.
In your most recent podcast, you guys were talking about how 60 is the new 50 for field goal kickers, My dad had an idea about field goal scoring 30 years ago, but I think its time has come.
Okay.
He always thought it was dumb that your drive could stall out on the 45 and you kick a field goal and it counts the same as if your drive stalled out on the 10. His proposal is that if your kick is from 50 and beyond, it's only worth 1 point. If it's between 20 and 50, it's worth 2 points. And if you're inside the 20, it's worth 3. Is that an idea whose time has come? Thanks for all the great work you do. Love listening to you guys.
Interesting, because one of the non-NFL leagues had a thing where the farther out you were, the more points you got.
Which is incentivizing far kicks.
Right.
This incentivizes more offense.
It does.
I don't hate this.
I don't hate it.
It's another rule that it would never. It's too ingrained in the sport.
Especially if the Eagles proposed it.
That a field goal is. The Eagles were one of the 6 teams to propose the kicker ball change.
They were.
I kind of like this idea.
I kind of like it too.
It incentivizes offense. You would have imagine Eagles are on the 21-yard line. They need to get to the 20 for a 3-point field goal. They run the tush push on 3rd down. Not to get a first down, but to get in the window where you're able to get more points for a field goal.
Yeah, I like that one.
That's not bad.
It's good thing.
Never happened, but I do like the.
And 30 years ago, his dad thought of that.
Yeah, ahead of his time.
Waiting for the opportunity to write into a podcast and suggest it.
He was like, one day there's going to be podcasts, and we're going to send it there. From John.
How would you have explained a podcast to someone 30 years ago? Never mind. Let's just take more questions.
Yeah, I was going to say on-demand radio, but then you'd have to explain on-demand, which isn't an old concept.
Yeah.
All right. From John. To reduce the conversion rate of field goals and judging the distance To reduce the conversion rate of field goals, add judging distance into the process. Lower the uprights to 1/2 or 2/3 of their current height and put a crossbar on the top. Alternatively, you could just tip the uprights to make it a triangle. Either way, the kicker needs to not just be accurate along the horizontal plane, but needs to judge the distance more accurately than has enough leg. My related proposal is doink points. When a kicked ball hits an upright or a crossbar, the kicking team is awarded a point. So if the kicker hits the upright but makes it through, it will be a 4-point play. This gives the kicker incentive to aim for the edges where they're likelier to miss.
Not sure that 1 point would be worth risking a miss. What about, you ever play Papa
That double
Shot?
doink would.
Yeah.
Would have almost won the game.
It would be 5-point play. You ever play Papa Shot when the basket moves at the end of the round?
Ooh.
Moving goalpost.
That's not bad. That's kind of what they're doing with the tush push, the moving goalpost, but this will be a literal moving goalpost.
Yeah, that's my proposal.
Okay, I don't hate that. We have one more.
Papa kick.
Okay. From Joe. Hey, Dave and Rube, longtime listener and lover of the pod and
Appreciate
carrot cake.
Joe.
Here are a few humble suggestions from the radical to ridiculous and maybe 1 or 2 even realistic options. Number 1, what if the defense got a point for a missed field goal? Would that make coaches think twice about kicking them?
Interesting.
So we're not writing that one off. 2,
I like it.
A team only gets 2 missed field goals a game. After that, it's a punt or go for it on 4th down. I like this one more. You got to be more judicious with when you kick a field goal.
Kind of like the new pickoff rules.
Exactly.
Yeah.
3, at a field goal hash mark out by the numbers, similar to college, kicks from the regular hashes move out to the field goal hashes. Football in the center of the field can stay between the hashes. So basically, you have wide angle kicks. I don't love that.
How about you have to kick from outside the hashes?
Okay. Same idea. Just make it difficult. I don't know. I don't need that. What was the next one?
Okay.
Reduce the width of the goalposts from 18.6 to 14 inches or feet by taking by taking it off of each side. This is all the math in here. The 25% reduction in theory should reduce the number of made field goals by about 25%. I don't know if that math is mathing there.
Yeah, I don't think there'd be a direct correlation.
Yeah. 5, move the goalpost back to the outer edge of the white end zone out of bounds boundary. It's only 6 feet, but 2 yards is 2 yards.
Okay.
We had a lot of suggestions.
Those are good ones.
What's your favorite of all of them?
I kind of like giving the defense a point for a missed field goal. I like the descending or the ascending points for closer in, but the 1 point for the defense, I think I like that.
That's not bad. I like the limit the number of field goals. I don't know if 2's the right number.
See, to me, that makes whether to kick or not too much of a strategic. I don't know.
I like the strategy involved in that.
Yeah. It's interesting. These are good suggestions. I like them.
Okay. Thanks for all those. They're fun. Marty. Hey, Dave and Rube. Thanks for keeping us Birds fans in the loop regardless of location. Currently vacationing in Bill's crazy Buffalo. If you were Howie, what would you require in return if the Bengals came asking for Sam Howell?
I'm just thinking what it would take for someone to vacation in Buffalo.
That's a good point, actually.
I mean, I don't mind Buffalo, but
maybe a Niagara Falls trip in there.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Go check out that Eternal Flame.
Make
sure it's still lit.
Some wings in Orchard Park.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question? Something about football.
Bengals come asking for Sam Howell.
I would want anything. I mean, you would take anything if they wanted him. If Tanner's healthy.
Yeah, if Tanner's healthy. Yeah. They go a 5, 4.
Yeah. Anything you can get.
Okay. Tiffany. Hello, Dave and Rube. Carrot cake does stink, but I don't like any cake, so maybe I'm not able to weigh in on this as much as I'd like to have her on my side. Yeah, if you don't like cake.
So she just wrote in to say she doesn't.
No,
like cake.
There's actually.
Oh, okay. I thought that was it.
No, I had it'd be funny. I had a curious question that maybe you had a rough estimate that you could provide. Watching the Eagles-Chiefs game and seeing Vic make calls from the booth above and Spags make calls from the field, I was curious if the majority of defensive coordinators make their calls from the booth or the field. I can see the advantages and disadvantages of both, but was curious which way the majority of coaches lean. Thanks for all you do. I watch or listen to all the pods. Go Birds.
Thank you. I've never really thought about that, but
yeah, I don't know the numbers on it.
Anecdotally, I would think more upstairs.
I think so. Yeah, especially for defensive.
Yeah, especially defensive.
Yeah, you want to see the whole field. The offensive reasoning is often you want to talk to the quarterback in person.
Yeah.
If you're on, but some offensive coordinators are upstairs too.
Yeah. I don't know if it was Spags or another former head coach who's now an assistant said they're just used to being on the field for being a head coach, and it
makes sense.
They just feel comfortable there.
Yeah, you kind of.
I think it was Spags.
Yeah, you're more involved in the feel of a game down there.
You just see better upstairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I understand both sides of that.
Yeah.
Last one here.
I'd want to sit halfway in between, like in the middle of the stands.
With the fans?
Yeah.
It's funny. Vic talked about halftime adjustments this week, and he's like, yeah, it takes me a few minutes to get down there and to get back up. Halftime's only 12 minutes long anyway.
He said, that's so overrated. It takes me half a halftime just to get to the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, halftime's like, you eat an Uncrustable, you go to the bathroom, and you get back out there.
What is it? What is NFL halftime? Is it 14?
Vic said 12. I don't know.
I think it's 14.
Is it 14?
Yeah, I don't think it's 12. I think a little more than 12, but
not long enough for the Frisbee dogs.
I mean, at the link, I mean, you're going down the tunnel, you're making a left, you're walking a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good, probably 2 minutes to the locker room.
Yeah.
2 minutes back.
From Joe. Hey, Dave and Rube, a question about you both. I was wondering about your guys' game day routine. Do you have a game day meal or treat yourself to a good old bacon, egg, and cheese for breakfast? What time are we waking up? Side note, anytime game day is not on a Sunday, guaranteed cheesesteaks for dinner happening at my house.
Again, a lot of it depends on what time the game is. Say 1 o'clock game. What's your routine look like?
This is going to surprise you. I don't really have like a crazy stringent routine.
Really?
Yeah, you would think I would, knowing what you know about me, but I
like Tony Randall saying he doesn't have a routine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do like, but nothing crazy. Like I typically for a 1 o'clock game, I won't eat before the game. I'll wait until after I get back up from the field. But if it's a 4 p.m. or a night game, I at least like get outside in the morning, go take a walk or do something physical. But yeah, nothing crazy. Do you have any kind of like ritual on game day?
The one thing is I never eat. I never eat before the game, or I don't eat until after the post game show, which for night game is like I might have a bagel in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I get down here. I like to get down here really early. We're lucky because we're like 100 feet from the link.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the Wells Fargo Center, which is now the Xfinity Mobile. What is it? Xfinity Mobile Center?
Xfinity Mobile Arena?
So it went from a center to an arena.
Mm-hmm. Xfinity Mobile Arena.
Okay. Xfinity Mobile Arena. So I like to just get down here, kind of get parked and then just start like with the 4:30 game, like last week, watched some of the early game.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a routine because I write inactives. I have to guess inactives because when they come out, I'm actually on the field. So that's my fun game to like guess who's going to be inactive. And I'm normally pretty accurate.
You put a lot into it.
Mm-hmm.
Dave's at his desk. Don't talk to Dave when he's working on inactives. He's locked in.
I nailed the Tanner McKee emergency last week.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Merrill Reese eats pancakes every morning.
Does he?
Before a game. His wife makes him pancakes because he won't eat like after that.
Yeah, I have a box of Kind bars. I usually that's about it. Because like I'm on the set for an hour and a half for pregame, 3 hours for the game, and then an hour and a half for postgame. I usually don't move.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's my routine, not moving for 7 hours.
Well, thanks for all those questions, Eagle at NBC Uni.
Those are good questions today.
They were good. If you want to send us some. Rube.
Yes.
Quasi prediction time. You don't have to give me a score if you don't want to, but which way are you leaning in this game?
Yeah, I really went back and forth on this one. I think it's a tough game. I think the Rams have a fair shot at winning this game coming in here. I picked the Eagles just because I told myself last year after I don't know, there was a game I picked them to lose and they won. I was like, I'm not going to pick against them until they lose. They've won 8 in a row. They won 18 of their last 19. They
don't lose.
And the one game they lost, they were up. They should have won it. But
as we're recording this, it's a 3.5 point spread.
Yeah, I'm picking the Eagles. I don't know how. I think there's some matchups that really favor the Rams. So I don't know how.
Then again, there are some matchups I think really favor the Eagles.
There are. I just can't pick against this team.
I'm not either. And beginning of the week, I think like in my head I was going to. The more I think about it, especially like if Dallas Goedert's back in this game, I think that really helps them. I like the Eagles matchups running the football and passing the football. Like, yeah, as much as Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and Matthew Stafford scare you, I just don't know if the Rams have enough.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I mean, they're going to get their yards. They're going to get their plays. I think red zone is going to be huge, and I like the Eagles' defense in the red zone.
Yeah. The Rams haven't really scored a ton.
They haven't. They've only given up one touchdown, too, 2 games against not great teams. It's an intriguing game to me. I was going to pick the Chiefs, but it was the same thing. I'm like, I just don't think this team's going to lose. And I think that's a tougher game in that building than the Rams here. It doesn't mean they're going to win, but we're seeing a really special time in Eagles history. I mean, they just don't lose games. And, to win a Super Bowl and come back the next year, and no matter what it looked like, and they haven't, always looked great, to be 2-0. And I looked it up, like more teams that won Super Bowls have been 2-0 than you would think. A lot have gotten off to good starts, but then only a handful have won more than 3 games to start the season. It's hard to win games, but yeah, I don't see them losing.
All right.
I don't know when I'm going to pick them to lose. I'm not going to pick them to lose until they lose.
So you're forfeiting the potential perfect season for yourself, unless they get a perfect season.
They might win all their games.
I doubt that, but you never know. If you enjoy the Eagle Eye Podcast, please rate and subscribe wherever you get your pods. If you're watching on YouTube, click the like button, subscribe there as well. Rube, any final words?
I do have some final words, Dave. There's a young man from Florence, New Jersey, Dave, named Curtis Thompson. And this morning in Tokyo, he became only the 3rd American javelin thrower ever to medal, to get on the podium at the World Track Championships. He threw 284.4 on his first attempt, finished 3rd. Second best finish ever by an American at the World Championships. 2-time Olympian, Florence, New Jersey, Florence High School, the Flashes. And it's an amazing story. the U.S. has never been world class in this event. So to see him, and he worked his way up to it. He went to 2 Olympics and didn't do great. Went to another World Championships and didn't do great, but had himself an amazing meet. And everybody who's still listening should know about it. Curtis Thompson, Florence High School, went to Mississippi State. In fact, the guy who finished second, Anderson Peters from Grenada, was his teammate at Mississippi State. So they got 14 team points. But yeah, cool story.
I covered Curtis Thompson playing high school football.
Yeah, and that was probably like 2012. I think he played
like that
up through his sophomore year, and then our former colleague Tom Rimback was reminding me that when he quit football, people thought he was crazy because he was a pretty good football player.
Mm-hmm.
They thought he was nuts. He's like, yeah, I want to focus on the javelin. What do you? There's no future in that. He's a 2-time Olympian, a 5-time U.S. champion, and a world championship medalist.
All right, there we go. We'll be back with you after the Eagles-Rams
and on
game
a second
on Sunday. For Reuben Frank, I'm Dave Zangaro. This has been Eagle Eye presented by Nissan. We'll talk to you soon.